In obedience to the commands of the Lord, Moses took his staff and his brother Aaron as his mouthpiece and stood before Pharaoh. Moses pled with Pharaoh to let the Israelite slaves go and revealed the power of God by transforming his staff into a serpent. The hearts of the Egyptians began to stir with fear, yet Pharaoh's heart remained hardened.
Thus began the first plague. The waters of the Nile turned to blood, leaving Egypt reeling in horror, as fish died. As it is written, "And the river shall stink, and the Egyptians shall loathe to drink the water of the river." But Pharaoh's will would not bend.
Then came the second plague, frogs swarming the land, entering homes and invading beds. As the frogs vanished, Pharaoh denied the Israelites their freedom. The third plague arrived unannounced, and all the dust of the land became lice throughout all the land of Egypt.
Next, the horde of flies descended, marking the beginning of the fourth plague. Pharaoh in his plight promised to let the Israelites go, but once the flies departed, he revoked his vow. Then came the fifth plague, a deadly pestilence that killed the livestock of Egypt, sparing only those of the Israelites. Pharaoh still refused to let go.
With a mere gesture, Moses summoned the sixth plague, and boils broke out, afflicting the Egyptians from head to toe. The seventh plague followed as hail rained down, blazing and furious, destroying crops and saturating the land. Then the eighth plague, locusts swarmed in, consuming every green thing left in Egypt, and they shall eat every tree which groweth for you out of the land. Pharaoh begged for relief, however, upon the locusts' departure, he reverted and denied freedom.
Suddenly, darkness covered the land for 3 days with the ninth plague, so dense that the people could not see each other or leave their homes. But in Goshen, the Israelites had light.
Finally, the 10th plague struck, death claiming the firstborn of every Egyptian family, from Pharaoh's palace to the humblest home.
As the shadow of night enveloped the land of Egypt, Moses instructed the Israelite families to prepare for the Passover. Each family prepared a lamb and carefully painted their doorposts with the blood of the lamb. This sign marked their homes for protection, a sacred signal to the destroying angel to pass over these households. Each family, cocooned within the safety of their faith, shared a meal of unleavened bread and bitter herbs, symbols of their hardships and haste. Candles flickered gently, casting a hopeful glow on faces weary with years of enslavement, but bright with the promise of a new beginning. As the night deepened, a palpable silence fell, broken only by the distant cries from Egyptian homes, the ominous fulfillment of the final plague.